Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sirius, and today we're covering chapters 35 and 36 of Kakurabachi. There's just huge development with Hakuri's character in terms of just a sad backstory and an epic moment later on. So we're going to talk about all that and more. But first, if you want to stay updated on my channel's videos, be sure to hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell to stay updated on my next upload. Alright, so let's get straight into it. Just going straight into the chapter, we're talking about Hakuri here, and we actually start with a flashback of the storehouse. So we get sort of the origins of, I guess, the start of his family trauma and his family problems with his not only father, but brothers. And it's actually really sad. It almost came out of nowhere. I thought we were done with the backstory stuff with the Sazanami family and the Rakuzachi, but there was a little bit that they were hiding from us. And this particular chapter really delves into what made Hakuri want to betray his family, and I don't blame him by any means. I mean, when you're the person put in charge of holding someone hostage or holding someone as merchandise, or you're basically a slave trader, and that person shows just an ounce of kindness back to you despite your family, being your family, and this prisoner treats you better than your actual family. That's really rough. So there's this merchandise for sale. I don't know why I said prisoner. They're not prisoner. They're being held as a slave or merchandise. And basically what happens is they have sort of a one-on-one conversation because Hakuri just wants to make sure that the merchandise stays alive. This girl who has this ice skin to her, and they can't keep her in the same cell as the others because she may affect the other people that they're holding hostage. And they have a one-on-one, and it's really the first time we get to see Hakuri's perspective, where he's just very duty driven, where he has a responsibility to his family to make sure that everything in preparation for the Rakuzachi proceeds as planned. And it's really sad because you know that deep down he doesn't really want to do this. He's more being forced to by obligation due to familial ties rather than his own personal motivations. And this girl actually helps him wake up to that. And it actually ties into our first introduction with him and Chihiro in that scene where he wanted to join Chihiro and they wanted to work together. And I thought that was like a really cool moment here. And it actually ends really sad because he ends up making her eat by talking to her, saying, "Hey, I'll keep you company. Just please eat because we need you to be ready for the next Rakuzachi, the auction." And she uses that to her advantage to eventually win his trust to let her out just for the day. And then she proceeds to hold a knife to herself and take her own life. And it's a very tragic moment, but it is a very important moment for Hakuri's character because it's the turning point. And you actually get to see him use that motivation to grow stronger in present day. He remembers that motivation of who he wants to be despite it going against his entire family and what he's been raised as, just because of that one interaction with the girl. And I don't remember if we do get a name from her, but you could still see that he bears a lot of guilt and responsibility for what her tragic fate was. And I didn't see that coming. I just was expecting just a continuation of the fight. I wasn't expecting this very tragic backstory that would basically come to define Hakuri. And I think that's the strength of Kakurabachi right now, is that it has a lot of characters it has yet to flesh out and explore. It did it with Char earlier on during arc earlier in the past. You actually get to see that with Hakuri now, and he's sort of been put center stage. And you actually get to see him remembering that moment, remembering his motivation, ending up powering up to gain this ability that they didn't think anyone besides the first founding member of the Sazanami family with the storehouse, they didn't realize that he actually had a part of that power as well. So he not only has one of the powers to circulate that spirit energy that they were talking about, but also the ability to make his own miniature storehouse, which is just such a cool ability. I've read it in a couple stories before where people have used teleportation in such creative ways. And I just love seeing that being brought into Kakurabachi. I think that just adds so much dynamics to the world of both sorcery and magic and swords. and adds a lot of stakes to it. And I can't wait to see where they go from here, because the chapter ends with, of course, with that much needed motivation, Chihiro and Hakuri rising above and eventually defeating their opponents, which is the Sazanami brothers. And oh boy, I do feel bad for Tenri, because he's not going to be able to walk that off. That looks extremely painful right there, but he had it coming. And I do love seeing Hakuri eventually stepping up to his brother, who has been abusing him in that past, which I forgot to address. But yes, he was abused by his brothers, both physically and psychologically, and he was able to overcome that in this chapter and win. And it's just very heartfelt. And you get a really cool moment at the end where Chihiro and Hakuri basically have this moment where it's like, yeah, we took out our opponents. Okay, let's go into the storehouse. We're about to finish our business. And I thought that was just fantastic. So overall, these chapters have just been amazing. These last two ones have actually been my personal favorite, just because of the character development of Hakuri during this Rakuzachi arc. And I think it's just going to go up from here. I mean, they defeated two of the brothers. They're going up. They're eventually going to fight, the head of the Sazanami clan. So that's just exciting to think about. And plus, we're nearing sort of the climax of this bigger arc. And I think this is just a bigger improvement from the last arc, because the last arc was just kind of loosely tied to the sorcerers, while this one is more directly impacted by it. And if they overcome it, they gain actually another enchanted blade, which will be really cool. But yeah, overall, just great action, great art, and just great writing from just a character perspective. Really delving into the psyche of Hakuri, which I think is very much needed at this point if he's going to be a long-term, long-stay character in this story. So what did you guys think of Kakurabachi? Did you like these chapters? Did you think did a little too much, hit on too sensitive topics? Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, because I love reading and responding to them. I think that's pretty much it. What do you guys think of this new setup as well? I've just been recently working with that because I'm going to start streaming again. So if you want to check those out, my streams are going to be Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on my Twitch channel. It's Sayorius, so twitch.tv/Sayorius. Pretty simple. So you can check me out there if you want to be more active with my, I guess, my presence online. But yeah, we're going to be covering more Kakurabachi in the next 2 weeks, the next 2 chapters when that drops. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And thanks for watching.